What if growing old didn't mean giving up your independence? In Japan, many people over 80, even 100, still walk to the market, cook their meals, and climb stairs. They move slower, sure, but they move with grace, intention, and pride. Their backs may curve, but their spirit stays upright. Meanwhile, in many Western countries, aging is often seen as decline. People are told to slow down, sit more, and take it easy. But what if we've misunderstood what the body needs after 60? What if stiffness and joint pain aren't just signs of aging, but signs of disuse and inflammation? In Japan, elders don't rely on supplements or painkillers as their first defense. They rely on something much simpler: daily rituals built around food, movement, and rhythm. And one of the most powerful rituals starts with what's on their plate. Not exotic ingredients, but ancient simplicity. Because the truth is, no joint stays healthy without the right support. And that support begins in the kitchen. The way you eat shapes the way you move. This video will show you how traditional Japanese food habits help maintain leg strength, joint flexibility, and long-term mobility. And most importantly, how you can begin applying these habits into your own life, no matter where you live. Because strength after 60 doesn't start in the gym. It starts with intention, repetition, and the right foods. You don't need perfection, you just need consistency. So the real question isn't how do I stay young? It's how do I stay capable? In many Western countries, mobility begins to decline sharply after age 60. Stairs become intimidating, and long walks start to feel exhausting. Knees swell, hips ache, and the body feels heavier. Not from weight, but from wear. Movement becomes something to endure, not enjoy. Doctors often recommend medication or physical therapy, but rarely does anyone ask what's fueling that pain from the inside out. In many cases, pain is rooted in chronic inflammation, worsened by diet, stress, and inactivity. It's not aging alone, but how we age. Western meals often lack the nutrients joints need to thrive. Ultra-processed foods dominate the plate, while fiber, fermented foods, and quality protein are scarce. Portions are large, meals are rushed, and sugar is hidden everywhere. The result? Swollen joints, stiff muscles, and a body out of rhythm. The connection between diet and joint health is often underestimated, but without the right nutrients, no amount of stretching or walking will bring lasting relief. Many American seniors feel disconnected from their bodies, like they're passengers inside something that's breaking down. But in Japan, aging looks different. They see aging not as surrender, but as an invitation to adapt, to shift slowly, gently, but intentionally. And part of that shift begins with a simple, overlooked question. What am I eating that supports or harms my joints? The answer is not about dieting or restriction. It's about feeding your body what it actually needs to move freely. In rural Japan, movement isn't scheduled. It's built into the day. People move because life requires it. They kneel to eat, squat to garden, stretch to hang laundry, and walk to the local market. These small actions add up over decades. Unlike gym workouts, this movement is natural, habitual, and consistent. It doesn't spike the heart. It supports the joints. Many homes still use tatami mats and low tables, encouraging floor sitting. This keeps the hips open and the spine mobile. Getting up and down from the floor several times a day acts as a full-body strength exercise, especially for the thighs, glutes, and core. Even their bathrooms and kitchens require gentle bending and reaching. These postures naturally train balance and coordination. The culture does not fear slowness. It honors precision. Movement is thoughtful, never rushed. This daily engagement with the body prevents stiffness from setting in. Muscles stay engaged, joints stay lubricated, and when pain does appear, the response is not medication, it's nourishment. Food becomes the first tool, not the last resort. Their meals are built to reduce inflammation and support the muscles that carry them through the day. No excess, no extremes, just intention. Even snacks are chosen mindfully. Roasted sweet potato, pickled plum, or a handful of edamame, gentle on the joints, kind to the gut. These foods help maintain strength without overwhelming digestion. because a heavy gut often means a heavy body. In Japan, there's a saying, "Eat until you're 80% full." It keeps the body light and the mind alert. Meals are eaten slowly, with gratitude, and often in silence. This supports digestion and reconnects the body to the present moment. All of this movement, gentle, repeated, natural, is fueled by food. Not supplements, not shakes, real, recognizable food. And because these foods are cooked at home, elders remain physically involved in their preparation. Chopping, stirring, serving, more motion, more care. Even in their 90s, many elders still grow herbs or vegetables in small backyard plots. Gardening keeps the body in motion and the mind engaged. Their lives are quiet, yes, but never still, because stillness, they say, is what invites decay. Mobility in Japan is not a luxury. It's a legacy, passed down through rhythm, habit, and food. And most importantly, it's not perfect. It's present. Wrinkles, slowness, and stiffness are accepted with grace, not hidden. So the goal isn't youth, it's autonomy. The ability to keep cooking your meals and walking to your garden, even at 90. That's what real strength looks like after 60. Not performance, presence. Joint pain doesn't begin in your knees, it begins in your bloodstream. Inflammation, poor digestion, and muscle loss create a perfect storm for stiffness. That's why the Japanese diet focuses on foods that heal, not just fill. And 3 ingredients stand out when it comes to mobility. First, small, oily fish like sardines, mackerel, and anchovies. These are rich in omega-3s, which reduce joint inflammation and support brain health. In Japan, they're often eaten whole, bones, skin, and all, adding extra calcium and collagen. These minerals are key for preserving bone and joint structure. They're also easy to prepare, grilled, lightly salted, and paired with rice or soup. Nothing fried, nothing hidden. Second, fermented soy, especially natto and miso. These foods are packed with vitamin K2, which supports bone health and joint flexibility. They're also loaded with probiotics that reduce systemic inflammation, not just in the gut, but throughout the body. Natto's strong flavor isn't for everyone, but even miso soup a few times a week can make a difference. The benefits go beyond taste. Miso is especially good in the morning, warming the belly, awakening digestion, and delivering protein without heaviness. Third, seaweed and mineral-rich greens, wakame, kombu, hijiki. These are not decorations, they're medicine. Seaweed is rich in iodine, magnesium, and antioxidants that support muscle recovery and thyroid balance. These are crucial after 60. In Western diets, these minerals are often missing, and their absence contributes to weakness and stiffness. Seaweed is also naturally anti-inflammatory and supports better hydration of joints. It doesn't just nourish, it lubricates. These 3 foods, oily fish, fermented soy, and seaweed, form a trifecta for joint protection, and they don't need to be eaten in large amounts. What matters is consistency. Just a few servings each week can gradually reduce stiffness and support natural strength. They're not magic, they're habits, built into daily life, one quiet meal at a time. And most importantly, they're affordable and accessible, especially when you learn to adapt them to your local ingredients. Because you don't need to live in Japan to eat like someone who values their mobility. You just need to begin, gently and with respect for your body. You don't need to live in Japan to eat with intention. You don't need tatami mats or fermented pickles from Okinawa. You need rhythm. You need foods that respect your age and your needs. Start with your first meal of the day. Skip the toast and sausage. Try miso soup with tofu and greens instead. This breakfast supports joints, hydrates the body, and wakes up digestion. It's soft, warm, and rich in plant-based protein. If miso isn't your taste yet, try oats with chia, ground flax, or soft-boiled eggs. The goal is gentleness, not perfection. Lunch can be equally simple. Think grilled salmon, sautéed spinach, and a few pickled carrots or radishes. Dinner doesn't have to be heavy. Try a vegetable hot pot or steamed rice with stir-fried mushrooms and tofu. Focus on plant-first meals, not just salad but soups, stews, roots, and fermented sides. Add protein as medicine, not as excess. Think sardines, eggs, tofu, beans, all soft on digestion, strong on impact. Make your meals smaller but more frequent. Try 4 to 5 gentle meals a day, not too heavy ones. Use smaller bowls or plates. Your eyes adjust, and so does your digestion. And slow down while you eat. No phone, no rushing, just food and breath. This is what Japanese elders do every day, not as a diet, as a way of being. You can also move like they do, not in a gym, in your kitchen, in your garden, across the room. Try squatting to reach the lower shelf. Kneel briefly while tending a plant. Stand up slowly without leaning. It may feel awkward at first, but it builds balance and strength. These motions are natural training. Every meal, every movement can be a form of gentle resilience. You're not chasing youth, you're preserving your autonomy. Choose one change this week, just one. It might be your breakfast. It might be how you sit. It might be your attitude toward pain. You don't need a perfect plan. You need presence and permission to move at your own pace. Marjorie is 76 and lives in Asheville, North Carolina. Her knees used to ache just walking to the mailbox. She loved gardening but had stopped. Crouching became too painful. Her mornings were filled with stiffness and frustration. One day, she found a video about Japanese longevity and was curious. What if I tried just one small thing, she asked herself. She started replacing her usual toast and jam with a warm bowl of miso soup. Within a week, her digestion felt calmer. She added tofu and soft greens, then a few short walks each morning, even just around her block. After 3 months, Marjorie reported something unexpected. Her knees still creaked, but they didn't stop her. She said, "I feel proud again, not because I'm young, but because I'm trying." It wasn't a miracle. It was a shift in rhythm, in meals, in mindset. Japanese elders don't obsess over perfect health. They stay gentle, consistent, and humble in their routines. They age with grace, not because they avoid pain, but because they move through it with care. And that's the message. Mobility after 60 is not about running marathons. It's about being able to make your tea, tend your plants, climb your stairs. Dignity doesn't require speed. It requires access to your life. Your body isn't done. It's listening, and every bite, every stretch, every gentle habit is a way of saying, "I still care." You don't need a new life. You need new rhythm. Start where you are, even if that's sore, tired, or unsure. Let food be the first shift. Movement will follow. Try one thing tomorrow. Miso for breakfast or a 10-minute walk. Just that. If it feels right, try again the next day, and again. Because freedom after 60 isn't made in big leaps. It's made in small, kind decisions. If this message resonates with you, you're not alone. Here at The Miracle Leaf, we believe aging can be strong and soft. Subscribe if you want more gentle guidance rooted in Japanese tradition. And if you're ready to go deeper, we quietly recommend The Longevity Diet by Dr. Walter Longo. Your body is still listening. Give it something kind.